Hi everybody and welcome to Juho's Movie Corner. This will be a short review of Disney's Lion King um, 2019 version, the live action version. And I know that it's been out for a while, so that's why I'm not gonna like do a 10 or 15 minute review. I'm just gonna give you my basic thoughts on the movie, and that's it. But here are some things that I'm gonna go over in the review. Maybe a few minutes per subject. I thought there would be three or four subject areas that I would go through with this review. The first one is my general thoughts on the movie. The second one will be the actors of the movie. And the third one will be technical side of the movie, which is fantastic. I think it's one of the most fantastic and most well done, or the perfect Disney live action movie that has come out since this live action trend started. And then the final subject matter will be my final thoughts plus how many stars I give the movie. So my general thoughts first. The movie is directed by Jon Favreau, a Marvel and Disney veteran with many great directorial and acting credits under his belt, and I think as a director he has done a fantastic job. Um, the source material that stems from the 1994 release of the animated version of the same movie with the same name doesn't give that much leeway to a director. I think, although as avid moviegoer and movie reviewer, I would have hoped that with the hype that has surrounded this movie, we would have gotten something new. Couple of new things that we haven't maybe seen or heard or experienced in a Disney movie before, but I was thoroughly disappointed on that front. I think um, they should have, or he should have, as a director, maybe like taken the story to some new areas that were not like investigated or talked about in the original version. But to my disappointment, this movie seems to seems to follow seems to follow the source material almost to the point, with just a couple of exceptions. And in my mind, those exceptions are not even that huge. So yeah, as a director, I think Jon Favreau did his best. And I must say, and this is only my personal viewpoint on the matter, but I think the reason he wanted to do this movie was more on the technical side, which was fantastic, than on the storytelling side. I might be totally wrong about this, but that's just my general feeling on how the movie was done and how it felt to watch it. And as I said, this 2019 version follows very strictly the 1994 version, so I'm gonna assume that most of you have seen the 1994 version of the movie, so I'm not gonna go into too many plot details. in this review, although I have to say, and I'm gonna repeat myself here, but um, speaking strictly from a plot viewpoint, I was disappointed with the movie, which in my mind is the biggest disappointment, because I think that the movie or the filmmakers had a fantastic opportunity here to do something maybe that we didn't expect as an audience, but hey, they decided to take the safe route, and that's totally fine. That's okay, but still, it's like it holds no surprises, and that was the biggest disappointment to me. But then, on the actors of the movie, and the biggest star and the biggest name in my mind of the movie is still the big guy, James Earl Jones, who is doing the role of Mufasa, and he was fantastic in this movie. He really brought memories back to me about seeing the movie first time in movie theater here in Finland, because as I remember it, my parents took me to the English version of the movie, and that's yeah, he's like role in both of the movies is the reason that I go back to the original animated version from time to time again, because let's just say he's a badass as Mufasa, and I just love listening to his voice. And then we also see a Scar, or hear a Scar, this Chiwetel Ejiofor, and I know that I massacred his name in pronunciation. Sorry about that, but he's playing Scar, and comparing Mr. Ejiofor to Jeremy Irons, who did the role in the original animated version, is actually a non-contest whatsoever, because Jeremy Irons wins that race every time, all the time, whatever way you look at it. His performance was as close to perfection as one can be. Mr. Ejiofor tried his best, I'm sure, but he just didn't do it for me, not at all. And oh yes, and third name I want to mention here is John Oliver, playing the like the king's confidant Zazu. His performance was fantastic beyond words. I only know him from his like late night work in Last Week Tonight with John Oliver, his own talk show in on HBO. So I didn't know that he could act as such, but oh my goodness, he can act. His voice was perfect for Zazu. It was perfect casting. I loved every second that he spoke in this movie. But then I have to mention the two most disappointing actors sorry, of the movie. And unfortunately, those are the two most important actors in this movie, in my mind. First is Donald Glover playing the voice of Admiral Simba, and the second one is Beyoncé playing the voice of the adult Nala. And what can I say about these two? Well, I'll say this. Both of them were total disappointments for me. Absolutely total disappointments. I don't know what else to say. Because my only two voices that I can remember from this movie, even though it's like been only 4 hours since I walked out of the movie theater. James Earl Jones and John Oliver. Those are the only two voices that I can distinctly remember, like how they did it and how did it sound. With these other actors and Beyonce and Donald Glover included, it was like in the middle of the road, not taking any risks. Um, I just got the feeling that yeah, they kind of did their best, but they could have done so much more because everybody knows that Beyonce is a fantastic singer. I think her singing talents were not completely used in the production the way that they should have had been used because, hey, come on, she's still one of the best singers in the world in my mind. I love her to death as a singer, but as an actor in this movie, no way, Jose. It's like, yeah, get a, I would say Disney that get somebody else the next time do the role of Nala if at all possible because Beyonce wasn't the best choice in my mind, and I want to emphasize that it's only my view of the situation, but I I I really do think that they should select somebody else next time. And then Donald Glover played the voice of adult Simba, and it's the same deal as with Beyonce. He tried his best, I'm sure, but he should have done a bit more actually, because yeah, those movies that I have seen from him, um, let's see here, like Solo, he played Lando Calrissian in that, and then I'm pretty sure that I saw him in something else. I think he was in The Martian, um, which is which was totally fantastic. But in this, he wasn't at his best. Oh, I don't know. Maybe he wasn't given very good material. But he didn't get to his potential in this. So yeah, those are the actors that I want to mention. And now a fast like look at the technical side. Although I'm not gonna go into any technical details because I don't know them yet. But this movie is more one of those movies that I want to find out every technical detail about because the cinema well, sorry, but I got my words mixed up there. But the way they shot the movie, the way the movie sounded, the way the movie felt was absolutely fantastic. I sat there in Helsinki's Finkino tennis palatsi with my mouth and my eyes wide open the whole time because I didn't believe what I was seeing on the screen. Because this movie, I think, blows everything else done with a computer animation out of the water with no question. It's absolutely fantastic. It's beyond description how fantastic this is. The the way they showed the nature, the way they showed the animals, the way they made the um, moviegoer or movie audience feel part of the adventure, like you were there with the animals, you were there in the jungles and in the prairies with the animals. Yeah, it's absolutely fantastic. So, full props on that to Disney. They deserve them. I think this movie deserves an Oscar for what it has done. I hope it gets nominated. I hope it wins on the technical side of things, like visual effects, sound effects, that kind of thing. It should win, and from the movies that I have seen this year, for example, it blows Endgame out of the water completely. Endgame was good, don't get me wrong, from a visual effects point of view, but come on, this was something else, completely something else. And then, yeah, I think that's it from the technical side. Um, and then my final thought, which is this: if you have seen the original version of the movie from 1994, don't expect miracles or anything new. You won't get it. It's completely the same movie. Absolutely the same movie. If you want to be entertained, entertained by the technical side of things, the way the movie was shot, the way the movie felt. Yeah, then go see this movie and have a heck of a time, because that's what this movie is. All 118 minutes of it. This is like from the technical side of things, this is perfection. If you are waiting for to see the actors or hear the actors in the roles, don't expect miracles again. It's good stuff, but it's not great. But if I have to give stars to the movie, I will give it 3 stars out of 5. And yeah, that's my final verdict. So, but I must say that I really do feel that this movie is the best Disney live action movie I have seen. But I on or at the same time, I feel like, and I hope that Disney would come up with something original, some original stuff, like in the meantime, because this, like, rehashing, reusing the same material again and again and again, is getting a bit old. Although we are getting these fantastic live action versions of their animated films, but but still, it's Disney, and they should at least have on their disposal the best creative minds in the world. So come on, Disney, come up with something new. Come on, please, just for me, yeah. So that I could be genuinely or like really excited sometime in the near future when I go to see a Disney production. Because let's be honest, the way that Disney does movies these days, with Star Wars and these live action versions, is getting, at least for me, a bit stale. So they should come up with something new. Please, 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 please. But yeah, as I said, that's my thoughts on the 2019 version of The Lion King. Hope you enjoyed this. Hope you return the next time I do a podcast. By the way, you can subscribe to my podcast from Apple's or iTunes Store, sorry, and Apple Podcasts, and also I have a feed in Spotify. Although I'm not sure how well that works, because that's in the beta phase of things. And then you can also get my written reviews on my Facebook page, Juho's Movie Corner. Try searching for Juho's Movie Corner on Facebook. You will find me that way. You will find also written reviews, but on that thing, I must say that mostly I do those written reviews in Finnish. But if I see something very, very nice, then I might consider doing written reviews also in English. But other than that, thanks for listening. See you and hear you the next time. Bye bye. Bye bye. Bye bye.